Sunday night looked like the 49ers' final preseason game on offense. We saw multiple breakdowns in pass protection. We didn't see any explosive plays from Deebo Samuel. We saw the quarterback miss a handful of throws. Everything was off. Everybody made mistakes. And after the game, I asked Kyle Shanahan, where do you think you could have done personally better as a play caller? What plays stuck out to you? He gave me 5, and I want to go over those 5 plays because he said he felt like those 5 plays were the difference in the ballgame. All right, so on the first play, Shanahan said the fumbled snap in the second series of the second half. So here we go. Jordan Mason just had a 7-yard run. It is 2nd and 8, as you can see here. 49ers have exactly what they want. They're going to run to the left. So you will see Trent Williams kick out Bradley Chubb. You see Jake Brendel climbing to the second level. He is going to have a good angle to cut off the oncoming linebacker. So if the play goes as expected and he gets a handoff, Mason has a clear track, unless Brandon misses this block on the cornerback. It is going to be one-on-one with the safety. Let's say that he doesn't make the safety miss. All right, fine. Now it's the first down. You're in prime position to put points on the board. Instead, it's a fumbled snap. So Kyle Shanahan said after the game that it was on Brendel. So everybody, if you watch the rest of the offensive line and the skill players, everybody else goes on 1, and Brendel snaps it. So you see how he's kind of late to get out of his stance there. He snaps it on 2. Everybody else goes on 1. That's why there is a blunder. Cannot happen in the third game. I know that this is his first game essentially with Jimmy Garoppolo. They had one half last week in week 2, but still just a tough break here that can't happen in the regular season. All right, the second play was the safety, and that's what Kyle Shanahan mentioned. There's been a lot of criticism for this play call. Not a lot of people are a fan of play action when you're backed up into your end zone. I don't mind it just because of what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the ball to one of their best players, George Kittle. It's 2nd and 10. If he runs the ball, people are going to be complaining, why waste it down? Why are you running into the teeth of the defense on 2nd and 10? So let's watch how the play plays out. It's honestly just a really good call from the Broncos. They were on it all night as the game, just went along. Remember, the Broncos defensive coordinator spent the last 5 years with the Rams. He knows this offense. He's been running against a Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan offense every day in practice. So 49ers, they're going to try to run leak. Remember, that is the same play that Trey Lance overthrew Tyler Kroft in week 1. So here's what we got going on here. Let's watch it. They're going to have Brandon Ayuk run across the field and hoping that you're going to get man coverage. Why? Because he is going to run with the receiver. And what we have next is George Kittle coming up across the formation and down the sideline. He stumbles a bit, so that kind of throws off the timing of the play. And as you can see there, 22, the safety, most of the time you would like him to either take Ayuk crossing the field or he would come all the way down to Jeff Wilson in the flat. He doesn't do that. He recognizes the play, stays on Kittle. There's nowhere to go for Jimmy, so the next check down would be either Jeff Wilson in the far flat or Deebo right here. There are 2 guys on Deebo. That's Kyle Juszczyk. You have a defensive end peeling off to Jeff Wilson here. So there's nowhere to go. In a dream scenario, here's how the play would work out. So right here, Jimmy sees that nobody's open, everybody's covered, so he just throws it over the head of Wilson or into the stands over the head of Kittle, and you're able to live for another down. Instead, he pats the ball, kind of retreats, and that's how he steps out of the end zone. The comedic value on this is at an all-time high just because obviously it's a safety, and Jimmy became a meme from this. And naturally, people are making fun of him for the pick 6 too. So a lot went wrong on this, but it was just a better play call from the Broncos, and it is okay to acknowledge that Denver just made a better play. We can see from the end zone view what went down here. So we'll get into the pass protection issues on the next couple plays, but there's Mike McGlinchey just on his stomach. Not a great look for him in this game, and just a tough one right there. 2 points, and that ended up being the difference in the game. All right, so on the third series, Shanahan said, quote, on that 2nd and 10, just had a real bad sack that got us to 3rd and 18, end quote. So, remember, Broncos DC, he is fresh from the Rams. He has seen all these plays. 49ers love running this play where Juszczyk comes across the formation. He normally kicks out the defensive end, and they're going to pull the left guard, Aaron Banks, and they're going to run underneath Kyle Juszczyk and Banks. So, off that, they're going to run a drift or a backside slant from Brandon Ayuk. So, as I mentioned, the safety knows exactly what's coming. So right there, the Broncos have the 49ers dead to rights right here. So again, give credit to Denver for taking away some of these plays. However, the issue is on the sack. This is Jalen Moore's first series, and he did not last long. So on this play, he just oversets, and by that I mean he is going to put a lot of his weight toward the outside to try to protect his outside by oversetting, and by doing that, he makes him and he allows himself to be susceptible to any inside move. And from there, with no help, makes life easy on Randy Gregory, gives him a nice move. Jimmy doesn't have much of a chance here, and that's a sack right there. So they're in plus territory here. You can't give up a sack on 2nd and 10. Another drive wasted, squandered opportunity from the 49ers offense, and they have to punt. All right, so on the 4th series, Shanahan said, quote, "We had the 2nd and 10 after we had a good return from Ray McLeod on the 40, and we have 2nd and 10 where we throw it to Juwan down the sideline. Got a real big chance for a big play to get in the red zone, and we ended up not coming down clean with it, as you just saw right there. Had a bust protection, got Jimmy hit way too hard, end quote." So, all right, let's talk about that. You just saw the play from the end zone view. The real issue is the pass protection, and that was the case. I mean, once Trent Williams went down, it wasn't great. All right, let's walk through it. First, let's watch the play one more time. So right here, you have the linebacker walking up. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 defensive linemen. So you can tell what the 49ers are trying to do here. You know what they're trying to do based on their alignment by this running back. More than likely, how the rest of the defense is lined up, they're going to all slide to the right. So that's a full slide, meaning each of the offensive linemen are going to block the man to their right gap. So Mike McGlinchey would be responsible for him if he comes. Spencer Burford, Jake Brindle, Aaron Banks, he would technically be free. He has to look this way. He does not. He should be the only one looking this way. There should not be a one-person slide since he technically is in the backfield. Does not work that way. Jalen Moore, second goof. And that's how the play breaks down. Honestly, this is a great job by Jimmy just to stand tall in the pocket. You know you're going to take a lick. To get rid of it, give your guy a chance. That ball has to be caught cleanly, because if it's caught cleanly, he has his left foot down right now. There's 2 feet. And he actually gets his 3rd foot down. But instead, the bobble, because of the hit, of course, but still, he's an NFL receiver. He has to catch that. And the 49ers would be cooking in the red zone. Instead, 3rd and 10, never want to be in 3rd and 10. They're not able to pick it up. And another wasted opportunity in plus territory in the second half from an offense that has way too many good players for that to happen. So let's talk about this 5th and final play. All right, let's talk about the final and 5th play. So here's what Kyle Shanahan said, quote, "And on the 5th series, just messed up a little bit in protection to where we missed Debo, who's got K1 beat on an in-breaking route, which I think Debo's going to go to the house on. And we are just not quite right in our protections. And we're just a little off on the throw. And that's why they gave them another opportunity to go down the drive where they finally got the touchdown," end quote. All right, let's watch the play from the end zone view. You could see right there that if this ball's out in front of him, he's going to be the angle right here. He is running with George Kittle. It looks like it'd be a foot race for Debo, and you will take Debo all the time. All right, if we're looking from the end zone view, the reason that the throw was off was because there was yet another breakdown in pass protection. All right, so we're looking at the right side. So try to ignore the right tackle, Mike McGlinchey, who gets bowled over here. Again, I mentioned it wasn't a great game for him overall. But the real issue here is the rookie right guard, Spencer Burford. All right, so in pass protection, more often than not, you want your bigs on their bigs and your littles on their littles. So let's watch it play out here. You have that linebacker walking up right there. So this guy, it would make more sense for Kyle Juszczyk to block him. Juszczyk does exactly that. So let's watch it play out. All right, so right away, Spencer Burford does the right thing. He gets an initial punch on the defensive tackle. Juice is going to drive up here, fill in this little pocket, little hole right here, and he's going to take the oncoming blitzer. So everything looks well for the first split second of this play. However, as you can see, Burford comes off his man. They both go to the linebacker, and now you have a free runner. The right tackle's on the ground. Left tackle doesn't do too good of a job either. Now you got three guys in Jimmy's face. Obviously not a great throw, but you understand why after seeing it. So none of this happens if Burford stays on his man, because Juice is in a great position to take him away. Unfortunately, pass protection breaks down. Jimmy is used to throwing off platform here, and sure, like he could make a better throw, but tough to be too critical of him there based on the protection. And that is how the 49ers did not end up putting more points on the board in the second half. Too many mistakes from essentially every player. That can't happen moving forward. I imagine they'll correct it, but if they don't, it's going to be a long, long season.